Morgan, congratulations. A big win, a brilliant performance from you, a goal and an assist. It don't get much better than that, does it?
No, in front of the fans against one of the best teams in the world, obviously, to compete the way we did. Obviously, I'm happy to contribute and to win first and foremost. But yeah, it was enjoyable out there. So yeah, I'm thoroughly happy.
What was it that you did in that game as a team, also individually as well, that hurt Manchester City in the way that you did?
I think we were just focused from minute one to the end to our game plan. We stuck to it. We knew it'd be tough. We knew it'd be difficult. They'd have a lot of the ball, and it's about nullifying them best as possible, and then showing what we're about, showing our threats, because we're more than capable against any team in the league, and we did that. And I thought we were outstanding to our man. I think we all performed to our capabilities, and that's what we can do. So we just need to continue going and keep showing it.
Occasions like this bring the best out in Villa, don't they?
Yeah. I can say we probably play better against the bigger teams. We probably get to the occasion a bit more, but we need to show that in every game and climb that table and see where it takes us.
And for you personally as well, I saw you share a moment with Pep Guardiola, some of the backroom team at City, some of the other players as well. Maybe a reminder for you about how far you've come that performance against City today.
Yeah, obviously a lot of people I've worked with or played with, they've helped me along this way. So yeah, it was a nice moment to get that, to be on the highest level, competing with them against each other. So yeah, that's what dreams are all about. That's what it's made of, and yeah, I'm just happy I'm here.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Yeah, Morgan Rogers haunting his former club where he was as a youngster. How good was he today for Villa?
Well, he was the best player in the park. He was absolutely exceptional. I think that the work he done going forward, the work he did at the back, his choices and decisions in front of goal, obviously an assist and a goal in the afternoon, and to do it against your old club, especially a manager that's let you go, it always feels that much sweeter.
Could you see that he was there and up for that fight today?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's really not surprised me. I mean, he played well at Middlesbrough before he joined Aston Villa. I think it was like 15 million or whatever they paid for him. They'll probably be a bit of a squad player for a couple of seasons. Unai Emery will feed him into the team, but nothing likes. He has really stepped up to the plate. And today, you know, against his former club, and you seen him chatting to Xavi, the goalie coach, and Pep Guardiola after the game. You know, he's going like, "You let me go." Like, so, and Glenn's right. Like, every time you play against your old club or you feel hard done by, you didn't get an opportunity at that club, you go, "I'll show them today," and he was brilliant today.
Before we have a look at his goal, let's have a look at the story of the first half, where Villa started so strongly, forcing Ortega into a couple of smart saves in the first couple of minutes. But 16 minutes on the clock, and did they get what they deserved?
Well, you're right, man. He had a couple of warnings, didn't he? And he didn't heed them warnings. And again, you could look at City. I'd like to focus on the positives from Aston Villa. I mean, Akanji, John Stones goes all the way into Tielemans, you see here. Then Akanji and Rico Lewis, the gap's massive. Kovacic gets run off in midfield. We talk about Rodri. We talk about Rodri every time City play because he may even get the Ballon d'Or winner next year because he's not played. He's been that good without him, you know. But again, Morgan with a perfect layoff for Duran, and it's a brilliant goal from Villa.
Yeah, and I think the disappointing thing is right through the heart of Manchester City again, and this is what Aston Villa did time and time again. But that composure there and selflessness, especially against your own club, to put it on the plate for your striker, I think that speaks volumes of the young man.
Yeah. So they took that 1-0 advantage into the second half, probably steeling themselves for a reaction from Manchester City. But as it turned out, Rodgers in on the act here, starting and finishing the move.
Yeah, pace, power, desire. Obviously just meanders into the box. Once he gets this opportunity, digs it out from underneath him, back in that corner. But look how easy this is for him to turn and drive. Rides one challenge there, Kyle Walker. Rides another challenge, Kovacic actually tries to bring him down, glides away from Akanji, goes up against him, drops it off. Then he's just free to just wander into the box. And once this falls at him, he'd had a couple of opportunities. He wasn't going to make the same mistake again.
Ortega here? Shay?
No, I think what he's done really well, he's shifted it really quick and hit it early.
Yeah.
Combination for a goalkeeper, that's really difficult, you know. I think he knows exactly where Ortega is in the goal. Morgan, he just pulled it into that corner. I think it's a brilliant finish.
With barely, 1.5 minutes left on the clock, City did pull one back through Phil Foden. His first league goal of the season after his 29th shot on goal.
Yeah, and do you know what? He was probably the best Manchester City player today. He was the one that showed signs of the old Phil Foden last year. And listen, it's really fortunate how the goal came about. But once it dropped to him, he was clinical. And that is the one positive for Manchester City. Yeah. Maybe signs that Phil Foden's getting back to his best.
Villa come away with all 3 points. Only goal difference is stopping them from getting into the top 4 right now. Handily placed in the Champions League. Suddenly the narrative seems to have changed for them. You know, reasons to be really positive.
Well, they came into the game not in great form in the league, obviously losing Nottingham Forest last week, and some questions over their form. But again, when you beat the champions like today, in the manner, I know Foden got a late sort of consolation there, but that'll give him a huge lift, of course, going into the second half of the season. And the job, again, Unai Emery's done. I mean, he's been brilliant again today. Out tactical, out physical. Everything they've done today was ahead of Manchester City.
For City, the crisis deepens even further. Let's get the post-match thoughts of their head coach. Here's Pep Guardiola.
Pep, another game where you're still searching for those answers. What happened out there today?
Make a really good first half. We start with problems, with mistake, but we make a really good first half. Second half we drop. We change a little bit our pressing for the reason John could not continue, and we were not as much good as the first half. And yeah, congratulate Aston Villa and keep going.
Well, what was the reason that John Stones couldn't continue? Is it a recurrence of the previous injury?
Yeah.
So in terms of the things that Villa did well, was it something that you struggled with to deal with the intensity of their press?
I would not say no. Our build-up was comfortable, but of course in the mid-block they are so strong. They follow really good the pockets, the physicality with Onana and Kamara, and we could link inside, but it's not, you know that. But we have good moments. We have not big chances, but we have, I would say, more chances than United game, for example. But the second half we drop. Our pressing was not effective in our right side, and we struggled a little bit. And after we could not drop them well, and we found the goal at the end, but too late.
Yeah, that goal that you pull back at the end, is it more concerning not finding the goals as it is the type of goals that you're conceding at the moment?
Yeah, that's true. We struggle to score and we concede goals.
And Phil Foden as a whole, he's obviously not hit the heights of last season. Can you tell us a bit about how he's feeling this season and what's not quite clicking for him?
But the last 1 or 2 games was better, so have been the problems. Most of the players have the problems and struggle to have the fit. So that means what happened in the past in terms of forms or performance. Sometimes the next season is not the same because the people change and the situation change and struggle in some injuries. But today we make a really good game.
And we've spoken already about trying to find these solutions and what you can do to get this team getting back to winning, as everyone expects to see City doing that. How much of that is about you finding a way to get the team confident again?
I said to you last time, you answered the question like I gave it to you. So it's the same, how to find it, yeah? And the players back and step by step, but they have a nice personalities of the team and we're going, sooner or later going to find it.
Do you need to maybe try something different from what you've already tried so far to get out of this run?
Yeah. I have to do it, yeah.
What do you think that could be?
Back my players. That is what I've been different. Back my players.
Pep, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Cheers, guys.
He's continuing to back his players. Well, he has to get something out of them. He has to get a tune, no doubt. Just have a look at that. 6 defeats of the last 8 in the Premier League. 4 points taken in that time. What next for Pep Guardiola?
Well, only he knows, but he needs some sort of reaction from his players. This isn't all on him. I think the players have got to take a little bit of accountability. They're passive, they're not at it, they're not working hard enough, teams are breaking constantly on them. Listen, we're talking about world-class players here who know the game inside out. They have enough football intelligence and nous to be able to work this out for themselves. So we're putting an awful lot of pressure on Pep Guardiola at the minute, and rightly so. He's the world's best coach and has been, and he's proved it over and over again for 10, 12 years. But the players have got to look at themselves as well to a certain extent.
But they look like a team void of ideas, but we're talking about a team that's won the Premier League for the last 4 seasons.
Yeah, he's scratching his head by the looks of that interview, and I'm scratching my chin. It's difficult to get an answer to it, Manish, it really is. You know, we talk about the average age. You're looking for reasons or excuses or whatever. The average age has popped up overnight, it seems. They're not getting up the tackles. They're not blocking people. You know, Glenn speaks rightly about the second goal. There's a couple of opportunities to tactically foul. We've seen it over the years. They're a yard off that. Even Kovacic couldn't even tactically foul him. It's a snowball effect and confidence again. And you know, he asked the question, what are you going to do to change it? And he goes, I will stick with my players. I will back my players. But I don't know something needs to happen quick. I mean, January's around the corner. I suppose maybe reinforcements come in, try and freshen the whole group up. They just look tired, and even Pep looks tired himself.
Yeah, Glenn, it feels like the aggression's gone out of City's game. That front foot press, that trying to almost, instigate a mistake from the opponents, it's just not there anymore. And we saw that today.
Well, game management, I think, and we see this. This is everything that Manchester City are and Aston Villa are. This high press, this determination, backing each other up, working as a team, working as a unit. We can see the striker who does it every time, always biting away. Anana this time. I mean, it's just, if it's not one, it's the other, and then I think it's that structure of sensing, of wanting, and actually doing. This is everything that Manchester City didn't do on the afternoon. But this is way too easy. Look at Rodgers just getting turned, holding people off, and then all of a sudden, when you do that, your confidence raises and you get runners forward, and all of a sudden, you're at that back four asking questions.
The other thing, Manish, as well, is when you got the ball, it seems like you can have more energy levels, and when you're chasing the ball, which we've never seen Man City really do in a constant, the last 10, 11 games, whatever it is, they're chasing more of the ball, they're running back, they're not nowhere near it. But when you have the ball, when you're sort of running the legs of opposition, it's a lot easier than actually chasing the ball, trying to win it back. They're dropping deeper and deeper and deeper, and it's I don't know, it's not good at all, Finish, not good.
You could see clearly, I mean, they were got at down that middle third, in that Rodri-less midfield. Well, now look, it's almost too simplistic to put all this down to one player, surely.
You would think so, but when you see the attacks right through the middle there, and the way he would manage a game both in possession and out of possession, and let's be honest, the signs were there when Rodri was fit. When he didn't play, whether he missed through suspension or a small injury, Manchester City's declining results was there for all to see, and now he's not there at all. This is what's happened.
What about Pep Guardiola now? When you have a look at those statistics, I mean they stand out like a beacon at the minute. We've already discussed what next for him. Is there the remotest of possibilities that if he fails to get a tune out of these players soon, or feels that his voice isn't being heard in the dressing room, that he might just walk away?
I think that's the last thing we want as any sort of even neutral Premier League fan around the world. We want to see Pep do the opposite, actually. We wanted to come out in interviews after the game and go, wrong again today. Next week I'm going to come back stronger, we're going to come back fitter. And we mentioned this before again, he needs to come up with a solution, fix his players, fix whatever needs fixing. We're not behind the training ground at Manchester City, but he needs to do something. I would rather him stay than actually walk away. I don't think he'll ever get sacked. I don't think he's way too much credit in the bank. No, I'm not saying he will be either, but I think he's nearly too proud to walk as well. I think he might, but I think he's nearly too proud to walk because Glenn rightly says, he's regarded as one of the best managers in the world. And at times, and this is probably the hardest time he's ever had as a manager, he has to come out fighting, I think, throwing more punches than just sort of accepting it and going into a bit of into a corner.
OK, let's hear from one of his players. Here's Erling Haaland.
Erling, another disappointing result. What's been said in the dressing room amongst you and your teammates just now?
Yeah, it's a couple of minutes since the game is finished, so not a lot. But of course, we're disappointed, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough for me, and that's it.
What did Villa do so well out there that made you guys struggle in this performance?
No, they're good players. We all know that. It's difficult to come here, but we're Man City. We should be up there, and we have to continue. We have to believe, and we have to keep working hard.
You are Man City, and I think for everyone, your fans, other fans of other teams that are watching, it's been such a surprise to see City in this form. How, as a team, are you working on trying to put this right?
No, we have to continue. And first, I'm looking at is myself. I haven't been doing things good enough. I haven't been scoring my chances and everything. So I have to do better. It's a lot on me, and I haven't been good enough.
Where are the confidence levels at between your...
Of course, it's not the best. We know how important confidence is and everything, and you can see it that it affects every human being. These kind of things, and that's how it is. We have to continue. We have to stay positive, even though it's difficult. And Yeah, we have to keep working hard.
There's an expectation that this Manchester City team, managed by Pep Guardiola, who's won absolutely everything in the league with your team, there's an expectation that he should be able to find the answers to change things, to turn things around. Has he been different around the training ground in this run?
No, not really. As you said, he won the Premier League 6 times in 7 years, so we will never forget that, and he will find the solutions. He's been doing that every single year except one, the last 7 years. So he's going to find the solutions. We still believe in him, and we have to work harder than ever right now.
What did he say to you? We saw in the tunnel he was giving you all some instructions just before you came out. That's not something that we've seen this season at Premier League ground, certainly. What was he saying to you as you went out for the second half?
No, sometimes he do that, but not with cameras. But it's the small details, and I don't remember right now, to be honest. I'm thinking of that we actually just lost the game, another one. I don't remember, but it was probably some small instructions to do things a little bit better.
Can you get out of this?
Yeah.
Erling, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Erling sounds confident. You don't expect him to say anything else, along with the fact that he says that he backs the manager. If you're one of those City players, is it a question of pride now for you? Do you take it upon yourself to do all you can?
Well, yeah, you have to, the first and foremost, when you cross the white line, you're representing yourself and your family, and you have to do your best for yourself in any Premier League game. Now, that is a question mark over the players. Are they giving everything for Pep Guardiola? Are they, busting their gut to close people down, stop crosses, stop shots, put bodies on the line? From the outside looking, and we're only sort of breaking things down and slowing it down, it doesn't look like they are. Now, I don't know what the reason is to that. Yeah. We said before Pep's just signed a new contract not that long ago. Was that the players thinking he's going to leave in the summer and now he's signing a new contract? I've got to listen to this guy for another 2 years because he's so demanding and maybe physicality, mentally draining as well, and they've just dropped off it, haven't they, Manish?
Yeah, they absolutely have. OK, as the dust settles then on yet another Premier League defeat for the defending champions, Manchester City.
Where do you think Aston Villa and Manchester City will end up in the Premier League table? Let's start with Aston Villa Football Club. Aston Villa had a remarkable progression since the current manager Unai Emery took over in October 2022. He took over from Steven Gerrard, who got the club to 14th position the last season. His first season saw them climb to 7th in the league. And then last season, they came to 4th position, thus into Champions League. For those who know Emery, it is not such a surprise. He is the man who led Sevilla club to 3 times consecutive Europa League trophies. He had major stints in top clubs like Arsenal and Paris Saint-Germain. He is considered among one of the top managers in the world. This season, Aston Villa has the added challenge of fighting in the Champions League, which they did admirably. They are currently 5th in the competition, which is remarkable. They are likely to be one of the top 8 who will qualify for the next stage directly. In the Premier League, they are currently in very good form, level on points with Bournemouth and just 2 points behind Manchester City before this match. Their losses so far are against top teams in Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham and a surprisingly successful Nottingham Forest. They can look ahead to relatively easier games to come. Key players and solid performers for them include their keeper Martinez, Konsa, Carlos, Torres, Dignia in defence, Kamara, Tielemans, Cash, Rodgers, McGinn in midfield, and strikers Ollie Watkins and his brilliant deputy John Duran. They have Leon Bailey and Tyrone Mings who may be ready to come back, while Jacob Ramsey may take some more time. Looking ahead, supercomputer Opta predicts Aston Villa to finish 6th in the Premier League. We believe the position is likely. Although it seems like they regress from their 4th position last season, the added challenge of the Champions League combined with the recent resurgence of the likes of Liverpool and Chelsea would reasonably explain it, even if they finish outside of top 4. Where do you think Aston Villa will finish? Share your thoughts. Now, let's talk about Manchester City Football Club. The champions, the 4-in-a-row record holders under the best manager Pep Guardiola, have fallen on dark times. It is quite unbelievable to think they have lost 5 out of the last 7 Premier League games. Before this game, they stand 5th in the league, 9 points behind leaders Liverpool, who have a game in hand. This in uncharted territory. They beat Nottingham Forest 3-0 on 5th December, at which point most people thought they turned the corner. But no, they drew with Crystal Palace and then lost the derby against United last week. Man City did not fare well in Champions League either. They only managed to win 2 out of 6 games and could very well go out in the first stage if they don't win the next 2 games. They are 22nd position in the table, where finishing above 24th means you're out of the tournament altogether. They do have excuses, of course. Their talisman, Rodri, who won the Ballon d'Or, had a season-covering injury. Their midfield maestro, Kevin De Bruyne, had just come out of injury and still does not look his old self. Their goalkeeper and most of the defense are coming in and out of injuries. The deputy to Rodri, Kovacic, has not yet played a full game. Very few in the team look fit and fresh. The ones who are playing look tired and worn. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Doku and Savinho are not firing. Erling Haaland also missed some good chances, and had very little ball supply. The mental side of things looked even bleaker. The loss of confidence is palpable. Opponents are able to open up their midfield and defense very easily. And the forwards seem to lose their ability to penetrate opponents' defense. And they are also not taking their chances, which is odd for a Manchester City team. Whatever the excuse may be, they need to turn their performances around quickly. Otherwise they could very well miss the Champions League spot, let alone the title. Supercomputer Opta predicts 4th position for the club. As we are not yet halfway in the season, and this is the Premier League where anything can happen, and also we are talking about the most consistent team in current history, we believe they are likely to finish 2nd or 3rd yet. Share us your thoughts on where you think Manchester City will be come the end of the season.